so that's how the market is faring. But there's also a new kid on the block that's hit the bourses, and that is Lenskart, and it saw a rather tepid listing. We saw that the shares of Lenskart has listed at 390 on BSE and 395 on NSE. That's about 9% below the issue price, despite the IPO being subscribed 20 times. And remember, at the upper end of the issue price, the company was valued at 230 times its profits. To weigh in on the IPO and what are the future prospects for Lenskart, we are now joined by Dhramesh Kant, Head Equity Research, Cholamandalam Securities, who's joining us. Hi, Dharmesh. Good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for taking the time out and joining us. Dharmesh, first up, with the listing, it was a tepid listing. But is there any surprise on the listing that it has seen? Because in any case, the kind of valuations this IPO had come with, wasn't this already on the cards?
Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks for having me on the show. See, the surprise is with 20 plus times kind of an oversubscription, and then you have a down day. The stock price should have been up because that subscription which was there for waiting to be subscribed to Lenskart, where are there as of now? They should be buying the counter and making it move further. As far as anchor investors and PA IPO investors are concerned, there's a lock-in period, so they are not there. Who are the sellers into the counter? So, I mean, the surprise is there. Where are those subscription number missing in the listing price? Valuations, you definitely far higher side.
Right. Dharmesh, also, so in your opinion, if what could have perhaps gone wrong? That is my first question. And my second question is, again, I want to bring your attention to the kind of valuations that these IPOs are coming with. Because there have been so many IPOs, there is so much of action that's been happening on the primary market. It's clearly the liquidity that is moving towards the primary market. And then there is nothing that the investor really gets out of it. Even, when the shares list, investors are really left in the limbo.
Yeah, definitely, yes. I mean, for a couple of days, it may, still survive the kind of pricing it has come out with. But thereafter, it will be a function of earnings, and that is where the challenge lies. Most of the IPOs which we have seen in the recent past, so-called US kind of companies, have, actually faltered quite a extent on the pricing part. For as far as Lenskart is concerned, the valuations are way too high. I mean, it's a 15, 20-year-old company fully entrenched into the domestic market. And then the TAM, which is the total addressable market, they have just cornered 4 to 5%. So out of the total revenue mix for 60% is from India, that is around 3,600 to 4,000 odd crores, whereas the market size itself is 80,000 odd crores. And management itself says that 12 to 14% is what is the revenue growth they are expecting from the Indian side of the market. The balance 40%, which is the oversized twice, that is 28, 29%. So boiling down that, it comes to be around 20% or high teens kind of a revenue growth for the next foreseeable future. If you extrapolate that for even for 5 years, and with 15% kind of an operating margin, you would be landing up with a PAT of around say 1,000 crores. That is in FY30. And then you see the 70,000 crores kind of a market cap. So 70 times PE multiple 5 year forward with a growth run rate of 20%. And with, challenges coming in, I mean, Reliance geo frames are about to be launched into the market, and they are the mass disruptor. So with these kind of a challenges, such kind of a valuation multiple, how long it's going to survive, it's difficult to say. We have a clear avoid rating on the stock, but yeah, street is divided. They are biased into the counter, they are buying it. My only advice would be, let's not forget, even Nykaa today you are seeing a bump up of say 5-6%, but from IPO price in 21 is almost down 45% from that peak level. So 4 years you have lost if you have invested in IPO, and still you're down 40-45% from the peak level. Perspective. Nothing wrong with the business. Same with Lenskart. Nothing is wrong with the business. Business is fantastic. Management is fantastic. They have been doing all the right things as far as the business is concerned. The only problem is the pricing part, and there you should put something on the table. As a case in point is, you should take a running from LG Electronics. What's the pricing they did for the IPO? And today, I mean, they are giving a good value for money to the shareholders. Same with Hyundai. I mean, they are losing market share in India, exports are again. But IPO pricing was fantastic, so they left money on the table. So such kind of a practice, I mean, should come back into the market for investors' confidence and faith to continue.
Right, so business is strong, but the only problem is valuation. That's the word coming in. Mr. Kant, afternoon, Ashesha this side. So what, according to you, will the fair value be of this Lenskart company? And what, according to you, if at all the stock were to decline going forward, would it be a buying opportunity then?
I mean, there's a long headroom for it to decline. I mean, even if it declines 50%, I won't say it's a good buying opportunity from current levels, considering the fact having at, 10, 11 times its sales. And for then it has to be a window of period horizon. By that time, in a couple of years' time, you will also get to know what kind of a competition Geoframes is posing to other company, to the likes of Lenskart. So, I mean, fairly, if it were to come at, say, 3 times of sales as of current, value, 30,000 odd crores kind of a market. 30,000 is still a way far. 25,000 odd crores of market cap. There would have been serious bias into the counter. So, I mean, let's see 1 year how the earnings pans out, and then we'll take a call on this.
Eyes will be on earnings growth going forward, but for now it's a avoid rating that's coming in, and that's solely on account of valuations, although business continues to remain very strong. Mr. Khan, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now and helping us understand what your thoughts are on Lenskart, which got listed on bourses today. But shifting focus to transformers and rectifiers India, that one reported a very weak set of numbers for the quarter gone by. Both top line and bottom line declined on a year-on-year basis. My colleague Kanishka is now joining us to break down the numbers for us and what really went wrong in its earnings for the quarter gone by. Kanishka?
Yes, Transformers and Rectifiers India is in focus today after reporting a very weak performance for the quarter gone by, that is fiscal FY26 second quarter. It has seen a sharp profit and margin decline along with rising cash flow concerns. Now, the consolidated revenue that came in at 460 crore rupees, that's down about 13% sequentially, whereas the net profit that has halved to 33.9 crore rupees. EBITDA has also seen a drop of 42% on a sequential basis to that 52 crore rupees level. Margins, on the other hand, they have seen a sharp decline to that 11.2% level from over 16% in the last quarter. Now, the big worry this time is on cash flows. Now, despite reporting profits, operating cash flow turned negative at 108 crore rupees in the first half of the fiscal, that is H1 of FY26. This was mainly due to higher inventories and receivables. Now, inventory that rose 42% year on year. Receivable days, they stretched to 97. That's pointing to delayed collections and a slower execution pace for the company. To bridge the gap, the company relied on borrowings with financing inflows to about 70 crore rupees, signaling tight liquidity and rising working capital pressure. So yes, that's the reason why the stock is in focus, and the street is now going to watch the management's commentary on margin recovery, cash conversion and working capital control, as these factors will be crucial for sustaining growth in the coming quarters. So yes, that's the reason why Transformers and Rectifiers India is in focus. Cash flow concerns weighing on the stock.
All right, with that, it's time for a quick breather on markets at noon. We'll be right back with more updates and news on the markets on the other side. Stay tuned.